Well, how many of you are having a great day? Yes, absolutely. Just turn around to the people at your table and say, I am having a great day. Could you do that? You bet. Well, of course, you are having a great day because you are not at work, right? Yes. A few of you are even out of town. Ooh, how fun is that? You had a nice lunch. They've been giving out awards. They've even been giving out money. And they've allowed some of you to wear these interesting costumes. So it is no wonder that you're having a great day. But let me ask you a question, and you can be really honest with me. I promise I won't tell anyone. No one will know. Have you ever had a bad day at work? Anybody else ever had a bad day at work just every once in a while? You know, one of those days when everything that could possibly go wrong does. And you get in your car at the end of the day, you slam the door, you grip the steering wheel, you pull out onto the major street in front of your office and you say to yourself, how did I get myself into this? Some of you are familiar with a system in some of the school districts called half-day kindergarten. Are you familiar with that? You know, some of the kindergarten students go to school from 8 until 11, and then the others go from 12 until 3. And so when a kindergartner enters first grade, sometimes there's a bit of an adjustment. One of my friends who teaches first grade tells a story about a little boy in her class on the very first day of school. So you got the picture? It's first day, first grade. Just before 11 o'clock, he started packing up all of his books and papers. He stacked everything very neatly on his desk and sat with his hands folded, looking around as if he was waiting for something to happen. His teacher came up to him and she said, honey, what are you doing? He looked up at the clock that was on the back wall and he said, well, the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 11. That means it's time to go home. She said, oh, sweetheart. That was last year when you were in kindergarten. But now we're in first grade and we get to stay until the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 3. Well, the little boy looked up at her in a really disgusted way. And he said, well, who in the heck signed me up for this? You ever had a day like that when you said, who signed me up for this? Well, I'm going to get to the point really quick. I have 2 messages for you today. When you have days like that, and you will, I want you to remember 2 things. Number 1, what you do makes a difference. And it is making a difference to hundreds of children across this state, and you've seen the evidence of that today. And the second thing I want you to remember is this. If you would like to have more great days, you can have them. How many of you would like to have maybe more great days than you're having right now? Sure, most of us would. As Ken mentioned, for 20 plus years, I've been working with a variety of organizations, businesses, high-tech firms, hospitals, school districts, manufacturing companies, lawyers, funeral directors, and even some nonprofits. And here's what all of them want. They want their people to be both positive and productive on a daily basis. And this lesson was really brought home to me by a person named Mary Crawford. Now, Mary is an administrative assistant in a very high-stress organization. Mary has 3 bosses. Some of you have been in positions like that where you understand that kind of stress. And so I was talking to Mary, and I asked her if she would complete a sentence for me. I always like to ask people to do this. And I said, Mary, complete the sentence. I have a great day at work when... Now I'm going to stop just a minute. How would you answer that question? Don't be rolling your eyes around. Nudging your neighbor like, when she doesn't show up. That was for cause me to have a great day. About 2 years ago, we did a survey with all of the people who are readers of our monthly newsletter. And we asked these people, over 3,000 folks, to answer that question. I have a great day at work when? These were the primary answers that we got. People in nonprofits who work in healthcare and in education all said this. I have a great day at work when I know that I have made a difference. And you guys can probably agree with that. Another popular answer, I have a great day at work when I get things done. Yeah, we all like that, don't we? We want to check stuff off our list and we want to feel that we've had a productive day. The third thing is, I have a great day at work when we are all able to work together in harmony. And then there was that other answer, I have a great day at work when my boss is out of town. That was a big one. So back to Mary Crawford. I said, so Mary, complete the sentence for me. I have a great day at work when, and without hesitation, Mary Crawford said, I have a great day at work when I choose to have one. Brilliant, right? Mary had it figured out. She could have a great day anytime she wanted to have one. Now let's make a distinction here between what a great day is and what a great day is not. A great day is not a day when everything is perfect. When the skies are blue and the lights are green and the money's coming in and everybody's happy and we're just doing such good work, because that's not reality, is it? No. A great day is just your average day that is full of challenges, full of hardships, full of decisions, full of difficulties. But at the end of the day, and tell me your name again, is it Kelsey? Kelsey, who won one of your awards. We were talking just a minute ago, and she said, at the end of the day, you can put your head down on the pillow and say, I really feel like I made a difference today. We were able to overcome the challenges. We were able to get through the difficulties, and that's what makes it a great day. We have great days based on 2 things: the choices that we make and the actions that we take. Let's imagine that your area of responsibility is a stripe on the beach ball. That's what you're hired to do. That's what you're responsible for. That's what your performance appraisal is based on, is your particular stripe on the beach ball. And so it's understandable, isn't it, that we would want to focus on our stripe. So let me get help here from a few people. Would you 3 people right here just stand up? And I'd say, Ben, how are you? Ben, no, don't touch it. Ben, I know you're anxious. Just stand right where you are. And let's have you come around. And what is your name?
Angela.
Hey, Angela, come around and stand right here by me. And what is your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, stand right over there if you would. I'd like for each of you to focus straight ahead on the beach ball. And then I want you to tell me what stripes that you can see.
I see the white, the green, and the orange.
Okay, she sees white, green, and orange. Ben?
Blue, yellow, and orange.
Blue, yellow, and orange. Angela?
Yellow, blue, and red.
Did I call you by the right name?
No.
No.
Jennifer.
Jennifer, close, right? Okay. All right. Thank you. You guys can sit down. if you will remember, they each saw different colors based on where they were standing. And this happens to us in our work. I can focus on my stripe, and I can see the stripe that's right next to it, and then the stripe that's right on the other side. But I have no idea what's happening on the stripes that are over on that side. This is the same thing that happens to you. You think about your stripe and you say, well, my stripe is Wichita Falls. My stripe is Houston. My stripe is Dallas. My stripe is Waco. My stripe is Abilene. My stripe is Fort Worth. I mean, we could go on and on, right? And my area of responsibility, well, I'm a Vista. That's my stripe. Well, I'm a red. I'm a fundraiser. I'm a person who's a programs person. I match the bigs and the littles, and I'm a special events person. And you see how we can get so focused on our stripe without knowing what's going on the other side. But what happens if on the other side of the ball somebody pokes a hole in a stripe? What happens to the ball? It deflates. It's not useful anymore, is it? And so my encouragement to you is to begin to look at your organization and what you do from the top of the beach ball. Because when you see it from the top, you can see the whole picture, can't you? And you realize that it's like somebody said just a few minutes ago, it takes all of us working together to make it happen. Well, I'd like for you to pretend that your sheet of paper is a bath towel, and I would like for you to fold this towel the way that you would fold the towel in order to store it wherever you store it at your house, okay? So let's do a little towel folding. All right, everybody got their towels folded? Everybody got their towels folded. Now, let's find out how you folded your towels. Who would like to share with the group how you fold your towel? Yes, stand up.
All right.
And tell us your name.
Okay. My name's Sharasa.
All right, Sharasa,
Okay.
let's see. How do you fold your towel?
Okay, so I fold the towels in my house because I'm particular about how the fold faces out.
Particular.
Yes, so I take my bath towel and I fold over the edge like this, over the edge like this, and then I like for the crease, the nice edges to face out like that. And that's how they're supposed to be on the shelf.
Very nice. Does anyone else fold their towels? Oh, there's one person over there and someone else. A few people over there that fold their towels. Give her a hand. I mean, that's terrific. I've got to tell you, when I saw the fold, I thought, no way anybody else is going to fold their towels that way. And I was so wrong. Who else would like to share how you fold your towel? Okay, here we go. Oh, this is special. Stand up. What is your name?
My name is Kimmy.
Here, Kimmy, turn around like this so the folks...
Hello. Well, I have very limited space in my closet, so I roll my towels.
Oh,
rollers?
look. Yes, he's got some rollers over there. Very good. Thank you, Kimmy. Tell us what your name is and
Sybil.
how do you fold your towel, Sybil?
My name is Sybil. I take my towels and I fold them in half, and then I fold them in thirds, because then I can stack them two wide and 3 high in my cupboard space.
All right, you've got a fan there in the back. All right, very good. Anyone else fold their towels like Sybil? All right, quite a few of you. Oh, okay. Yes, does anyone else have a different way? Oh, wait a minute. How do you fold your
No,
towel?
I did my military. I was just like, wait a minute, that's not the only way.
Well, I'll tell you what, you all did a really nice job, but let me show you the right way to do it, which is my way, okay? I take my towels and I fold it in thirds, and then I fold it in thirds again, and I fold it in half, and I fold it in half again, so that we got that nice clean edge that goes up in the cabinet. Now, here's a secret. My husband and I have been married a really long time. He does not know how to fold towels properly. Now, he will fold them on occasion, and I never say a word, but I go back and redo them because they're not right. They're not right. And so this is kind of a fun exercise, but the question is, so Julie, what's the point? What is the point of this exercise? You tell me. Everybody does it differently. We've got a room of over 200 people here. We had about 5 or 6 examples, and I'll bet if we had kept going, we would have had maybe 12, 15 different ways to fold the towels. And the point is, everyone does it differently, and we all get the towels folded, right? And sometimes our way is not the only way. Sometimes we've got to work within our team, within our organization, to find the best way to do things. And that's when it takes a little bit of courage to swallow our words and to realize that being a team player is the very best thing that you can do. I like to think that people go through life wearing different kinds of glasses. And the prescriptions for those glasses give us our view of the world. And the exciting thing is we get to choose the prescriptions for those glasses. Now I know some people, and I'll bet you do too, who go through life wearing those dark colored glasses. You know, everything is dark and gloomy and negative, and it won't work, and we've never done that before. Kind of reminds you of that character from the Winnie the Pooh stories. You know who I mean. Eeyore. Eeyore goes through life and he says, oh dear, nothing good's gonna happen today. Sure enough, it doesn't. I know people, and I'll bet you do too, who go through life wearing magnifying glasses. Everything is a big deal. Oh, you know people like that? And then there are those folks that wear those rose-colored glasses. Everything is just wonderful. That's annoying, isn't it? Yeah, it's annoying, and it's also very unrealistic. And so perhaps the kinds of glasses that we need to wear are the ones that give us a very clear vision of reality, a very clear look at what's going on, but maybe ones that are tinted just a little bit with our choice of choosing to be cheerful. When you were a kid, did your parents ever stand you up against maybe a door frame in your home and make a mark at the top of your head and then measure to see how tall that you were? I think that was from several generations ago. I don't know if anybody does that anymore, but it's really kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Do you? Great. Because it's kind of fun and you can see how much a child has grown. But what if when you were growing up, and maybe it might have been a mentor or a parent or a teacher, but what if there was someone in your life who had said to you, reach up, little girl. Reach up, young man. Reach up just as high as you can. And then instead of making the mark at the top of your head, they made it at the tips of your fingers. What if you were measured by how high you can reach? How high can you reach? You're reaching pretty high right now. And my guess is you can reach higher. We all can. And that's part of being responsible in what you do. You remember the day that you found out you got this job? You were so excited. You were so fired up. You probably called your mama. You called your best friend. You called your spouse, your partner, your neighbor, and said, guess what? I got that job. And maybe you even went out to dinner that night to celebrate. And then somewhere along the way, things got tough. You got caught up in the problems and the challenges and what I sometimes like to call the everydayness of every day. And after a time, the fire maybe began to fade and fizzle. And when that happened, you felt discouraged and burned out. And maybe you ask yourself seriously, who signed me up for this? Whenever you have a day like that, you've got to remember what brought you here in the first place. And that is your passion, your desire to help kids who can't help themselves. To match them up with someone who will be a role model. And that's when you make a difference. I love the quote that says, "Blessed are those who can laugh at themselves, for they will never cease to be amused." We do need to learn to laugh at ourselves and not take ourselves too seriously. Having two sons, I've certainly learned that through the years. When our youngest son was in the 7th grade, he came home one day and told me that the sister of a friend of his who was a teenager was going to get a nose job. And I said, "Really? Does she have sinus problems or breathing problems, or does she just not like the way her nose looks? What's the story?" And he said, "Oh, Mom, it's real sad. She has a great big bump in her nose, just like you." One time at the holidays, I bought a dress to wear to a holiday party. And it was a little different from what I usually would choose. And so I brought it home and I tried it on for my boys to see. I said, "Well, never a good idea, you're right." So I learned. So I said, "Well, what do you think?" One of them said, "It's too sparkly." The other one said, "It's just not you." And I said, "Well, you know what? I get tired of being me. I want to be glamorous and sophisticated." And our oldest son said, "Mom, let me just say, it's not the right kind of dress for a middle-aged lady who's got a lot of gray hair." This was before I became chemically dependent, okay? One of my neighbors was going out to take a walk in the neighborhood, and it was right about this time of year when the weather was just beginning to warm up. And so she decided on this day to put on a pair of shorts before she went out on her walk. Now, there is always that moment, isn't there? When you put on something that you haven't worn in about a year, and you ask yourself, is this really a good idea? So she was headed out the back door, and just as she was going out, her teenage son was coming in, and she made the mistake of asking his opinion. She said, "Honey, do you think that my legs are just too pale for me to wear these shorts to go out walking?" Her son said, "Mom, it is not the paleness of your legs that I would worry about if I were you." He said, "It's the hail damage on your thighs." I want to share a story with you about a friend of mine who really represents this kind of person. This guy's name is Willie. And Willie is a sacker at the grocery store where I shop. He is not a checker, he's a sacker. I'm not too sure how old Willie is. My guess is he's probably in his late 60s. Willie is a person who is mentally challenged. Willie will never be anything more than a sacker. He has reached the top level of his ability. But Willie believes that he is the best sacker at that grocery store. And you know what? He is. You see, Willie is really good at what he does. He knows not to make the bags too heavy. He knows to put all the cold things together. He knows to put the bread and the chips up on the top so they don't get crushed. Willie's really good at what he does, and he also knows how to treat his customers. Whenever I come in the store, Willie sees me coming, and he says, "Oh, pretty lady." I love Willie. He says, "Oh, pretty lady, the sunshine has come into my day because you have come into my store." Now, I know that Willie says that to every woman who comes in, right? But that's okay, isn't it? Because Willie takes the time to make me and everyone else feel special. So you and I might take a look at Willie, and we might feel sorry for him. We might say, well, poor old Willie, he really doesn't have much going for him. But Willie appreciates what he has. You know how it is in Texas, don't you, in August? Hot. Day after day after day when the temperature is over 100 degrees and it is so dry, and on one of those really hot days, Willie was helping me take my groceries out to the car, and I will admit I was not having a very good day. In fact, I was griping and complaining, and I really kind of wanted Willie to gripe and complain along with me. Because after all, misery does indeed what? Love company. I said, "Willie, aren't you just sick of this weather? It is so hot and so humid, and I'll bet today you wish you were working inside." And Willie said, "Oh, pretty lady, every day I thank the good Lord for this job in this town at this time." You think Willie has great days? You bet he does. Do you think that the people who work with Willie have great days? Sure, when Willie's on the schedule, they're delighted. And here's the interesting thing. Just like all of you are in this fundraising thing together, Willie, the sacker, affects the bottom line of that grocery store, because you see, it's not the closest store to my house. It is not the one that has the best prices in town. But one of the reasons I go there is because Willie is there. Willie knows that he is a great days person. And I think there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from Willie. So when you look at those 4 words, cooperation, attitude, responsibility, and enthusiasm, the first letter of each one of those words spells out the word care. And this is a caring organization, isn't it? You care about kids. You care about doing quality work. And you care about each other. And that's a great recipe for a lot of great days. Thank you so much.